everyone, and welcome to Reed's Reads Spider-Man Crawl Space Edition. Check us out at the SpidermanCrawlspace.com. Well, everyone, I'm here to review Amazing Spider-Man number 2, aka 896 in Legacy numbers here. So, the big issue, what will happen between Peter and Mary Jane, at least according to the cover? Don't talk about the cover. Let's get right into Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr.'s second issue, shall we? First of all, the pros. One thing I really liked is everything that's right now going on behind the scenes with the gang war between Tombstone and the various ones. I really like how this Wells does hit the mark really well on the dark atmosphere of organized crime in Spider-Man's world. I do really like how he writes Tombstone from his moments with his daughter Janice about how she's been saying, like, you know, this is not me as a father, this is me as a mobster, and this is me as a criminal that has to do something. You think I've done some horrible things and I'm a different man because I'm your dad? Think again. I really like how the fact he gets into this and the fact that he goes into pretty much destroying his teeth again to make them jagged after he spent all the money, going after the current crime master and his organization to send a message to the Rose as well as other members of the criminal underworld is very well done. It's very dark, and John Romita Jr. really emphasizes this really well. I really also like the fact that there's a lot of good characterization what's been doing between Spider-Man, the White Rabbit, and his fights with Tombstone in this issue. I really like the fact that while he takes, he ends up webbing up the White Rabbit as henchman, the fact that the henchman did not actually attack Spider-Man because, like I said, he saved his life last issue. So he says, what am I supposed to do? This guy saved my life. I think I'm just going to go ahead and shoot him in the back. He doesn't say that at all. And I really do like how that characterization, like I said, the jokes for Spider-Man actually work very well, but also the use of his powers when Spider-Man realizes the henchman does not have any threat against him, and the fact he's using his spider sense and a few other things until he, of course, gets trapped into with Tombstone and the hydraulics truck going to the pier. And the fight scenes are really well done. I also like a bit of the characterization before the main storyline works with the beginning of the issue when Norman Osborn drops off Stanley and Normie for Peter to babysit, bringing up, of course, the babysitting, the fact he needs the money, and a few other things. And the fact is, we actually get to see Peter kind of enjoy and have a little fun when he actually was babysitting, even though it's all talked about stuff that happened off panel. It's really nice. JR pretty much said perfectly on the podcast that when there's more of the supporting cast members doing something, it makes Spider-Man's world more interesting, and I actually like how it has the implementations. But that's kind of where we ends for the positives of this issue. The cons. First of all, like I said, the cover is completely misleading. Mary Jane doesn't even appear in this issue. Maybe there's some mention about relationship, but it has nothing to do. It's completely bait and switch, as well as there's actually no talk about Peter's relationship or even what the big mystery is about what happened to him. Yeah, Norman talks about some of the things happen because, he's without his sins now, but it also shows that Norman still is kind of the scum of the earth, even if he is supposed to be, without his sins and evil, as they put it. He's still being a jerk and being his normal condescending, ego-driven self too. So that doesn't take away some of the things of the characterization of Norman Osborn. It really just kind of paints that he's just not a very nice guy, even if he's just trying to be good with the grandkids and have Peter actually have some money and give Liz Allen, a little bit of a loan time for the business world. Why it's not bad, but it really doesn't work anything with the relationships. It also goes into everything that's happened. As much as it's enjoyable with the whole story of Bond, especially between Tombstone and Janice's daughter and what's going on in the criminal empire, the fact that it kind of goes into a kind of a run-of-the-mill battle. And of course, I like the fact that Spider-Man actually is able to fight Tombstone under normal circumstances and actually understands his fighting style, and even Tombstone saying, like, oh, I'm getting kind of old about how tough this actually was. So it doesn't have Peter come. He actually gets outsmarted by some of the traps and the pieces that were put together with the White Rabbit and Tombstone, so it doesn't feel like it's too much. But when you really look at this issue, it's pretty quick an issue. Yeah, we get some nice character moments between Peter and Norman and Tombstone and Janice. And of course, also moments between Tombstone, the new crime master, as well as kind of how some of the pieces work with Spider-Man in the criminal underworld by how they see him. But when it's all said and done, there's really not much to this issue at all. It's beautiful artwork. It has a really dark atmosphere. I really did enjoy what was going on between the fight between Spider-Man and Tombstone. There's not really a lot in this issue at all, really, to make it outside some great artwork. And believe it or not, because of all that, even though it has some art, I'm giving it a solid C here, everybody. It's still enjoyable with some parts of the story, but really, this isn't really doing much with the issue. We've got two issues enough. They're bringing up stuff, what's going on with the Tombstone and the organized crime of New York City and Spider-Man's world, but we still don't know what's going on. Yeah, there are hints about what the upcoming new Spider-Man Goblin glider and suit that's going to be done with Norman is in a couple issues, but otherwise, there's just really nothing here outside. Peter did something. He's down on his luck. And he's trying to get it because, well, let's face it, guys, Peter Parker has to be it. Oh, look, he's babysitting his greatest enemy's grandchildren. Wow, isn't that just some great storyline telling? Yeah, in a little bit it's nice seeing Peter, but it just pretty much says, look, he's such a loser, he has to take a babysitting job for his enemy's grandkids. Not a lot to that story. So it gets a solid C for me, despite some great jokes, some moments of the fight scenes and artwork. But that's all I can give it, guys. And I really do look forward to reading my other fellow reviewers, such as Pete and Mark, on everybody on these issues and what they think about it. But right now, this issue is going to get a C from me. Very disappointing for a second Spider-Man issue. So there's not much else to say on that. And with that said, guys, this is just kind of short and sweet kind of issue and everything else. So if you want to check out more, please check us out on the SpidermanCrawlspace.com. Definitely check out our social media, especially our Discord, for more information on your latest news and discussions for everything Spider-Man related. And I will see everybody later on the Crawl Space.